Hi, I'm Bran, and I love 90s sports movies.
Quack, quack, quack.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I love 90s sports movies.
I'm Dan, and I also love 90s sports movies. Quack,
Go
Dogs! Take the Hallmark podcast. There's no way out of it. There's no way out of it. It's a great thing to do, but there's no way out of it.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hi, everybody.
Also, to our defense, you remember Mission Monday? We got it right on what, the 7th one?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
We
give
nailed
us
the
5
7th
more
one.
tries at this.
Yeah, 3 of these. There's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
We're just
Look at
getting
you.
warmed up.
Tell everybody that are maybe just listening.
Philo.tv/DTH.
This is a third different garb that you're rocking today.
Yeah, so this is a Ducks like basketball-esque jersey with the current logo, well, from these films, and then this hat was given to me by one Dan Thompson at last year's marathon. More of the D1 logo, but wanted to wear it for this episode. For Dan to see it and be mindful of all the great moments we shared when he gives us hot take.
Hey, thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, that jersey made its debut, Deck the Hallmark debut in the marathon and the video for the marathon, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's where Brand discovered Lord.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
For sure.
Would have been Lord.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode or installment, I guess I should say, of Mighty Monday. A thing we're doing here Mondays on Deck the Hallmark, taking a trip back to 90s sports movies.
I'm all jittery.
Yeah, this is a big one.
I don't
This is
believe
the centerpiece,
Can I tell you
really.
this? I don't believe for a second that Rye Guy went in there with an open mind to this movie. I don't believe
No,
it for a second.
I tried to be as
Well,
objective.
give him
as I could.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get to the wait what before, or the hot take before you start challenging.
I'm just
his-
telling you, I don't believe it. I believe he knew.
I mean, I will tell you that I posted in the Double Decker Facebook group that right before I hit play on Disney Plus, I wrote, I believe I'm like kind of nervous. And it was really not because like I know that I like this film at the very worst. I really like am fascinated to hear what you both think, specifically you, Dan. I mean, so like we've been building up to this literally
Yes.
for 3 years.
This is the moment where I revisited a movie I thought I would never watch again.
Yep.
Well, let's do it, shall we? D3, The Mighty Ducks, originally came to theaters on October 4th, 1996. And it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off, it feels a lot more zany than the other two.
Is it the Looney Tunes sound
It's the
effects?
Looney Tunes sound effects. Cut to Eden Hall. The Ducks are all getting a full ride athletic scholarship to be the JV hockey team at Eden Hall.
Doesn't get any bigger than this.
The stakes are high. And it's not all fun and games. Bombay tells Charlie that he's not going to be their coach. Charlie is mad. Maybe he says some things he's going to regret. But at least he still has his Ducks. Charlie and the rest of the Ducks show up at the first day. A little assembly makes quite the entrance. They're coming in backstage, taking down the old curtain. It's fine. Those aren't expensive. They get to their happy place, the ice, and immediately start playing lasso like good old Bombay would want them to instead of actually practicing hockey. Suddenly, former NHL player Ted O'Ryan comes skating up.
Orion.
Hockey coach. Could do it for Riley or
I
O'Ryan.
love that we did it for 2 or 3 movies. Wolf, 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 the dentist. The dentist.
He comes skating up. He is the new coach, and he is very strict. And no one hates him more than one Charlie Conway. The Ducks struggle to fit in at this new school and are constantly being bullied by the varsity team, who Coach O'Ryan warns them not to mess with them until they play each other at the JV varsity showdown.
You know, big
The
time.
setup of all setups. Coach tells Charlie that he's not the captain anymore. I'm the captain now. Moves the players.
Was that Arnold Schwarzenegger doing the Captain Phillips line?
It was.
Great. Glad we did
I
it.
should dance a prance of
Rick,
Hello there.
hey, could you do that? What if Arnold was in Captain
No,
Phillips?
I've got that one locked in the chamber,
All
ready
right,
to go.
hit me.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm the captain now.
Man,
Yeah, that's right on it, man. That's really good
that's
stuff.
incredible.
That's all I do.
Love you.
Love you. Been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way.
I
Coach,
got some boxes of inventory over here I got to go through, so I'll let you get back to it.
inventory of what?
My pants.
Coach tells Charlie that he's not the
Can I
captain.
get a snort from you?
Yeah. Moves the players
Still
to
got it.
He moves the players to different positions, starts Julie the Cat over Goldberg finally, and moves Banks to varsity. Charlie takes a liking to a girl named Linda and invites her to their first game, which she comes to. It's time for the first game, and they absolutely dominate through 2 periods thanks to all their silly gimmicks. Third period begins, and they just forget how to play. They give up a ton of goals after not playing any defense, and defense is everything to Coach O'Ryan. They give up 9 goals in 1 period, and the game ends in a tie. Coach is mad. Charlie threatens to quit, and the varsity put their clothes in the shower. This leads to a full-on prank war. We love a prank war. Frozen jackets, massive dinner bills, full Mission Impossible knockoff song set to some hijinks. This leads to an unsanctioned JV versus varsity game that gets broken up by O'Ryan. He tells them to take off those duck jerseys now. Charlie and Fulton refuse and quit the team. After one singular day of having fun at the mall, Fulton decides to return to Eden Hall. What a coward. Charlie is very sad. To make matters worse, Hans, who was back for this movie, passes away. Bombay shows up late to the funeral. He blows his duck call as he walks in. I'm kidding, but that would have been so funny. Can you imagine? Bombay wakes Charlie up out of his slumber and tells him that he's got some stuff to show him. They show up at Eden Hall, and Charlie and Bombay watch as O'Ryan comes out onto the ice with his daughter, who is in a wheelchair. Bombay tells Charlie that he put his career on hold. He said when the team was moving to Dallas that he was not going to move, and he stayed there for his daughter.
He got in a car accident.
Yes. Bombay tells Charlie the background story about how he became the coach of the Ducks, and says that he told O'Ryan that Charlie was the heart and soul of the team, and he hoped that both O'Ryan and Charlie would learn something from each other. So the next day, inspired, Charlie shows up to tell O'Ryan, hey, I know about your daughter, and also I'm ready to play 2-way hockey. He's happy to have Charlie back, but the dean shows up before the bus can pull out and tells him that they're all losing their scholarships. Luckily, Bombay is still a lawyer and comes into the boardroom and threatens to sue all of them unless they reinstate their scholarships, which the board ultimately agrees to. The varsity team comes over and tells them that they're going down at the JV varsity game, and they agree that if the JV wins, they will lose the Warriors name and become the Ducks. The Ducks are getting Banks back. The varsity doesn't want them.
Yeah, you can have them.
It's time. The JV varsity showdown. We love it. O'Ryan brings back the Duck jerseys, and throughout the game, the varsity, they're dominating on offense. However, the Ducks play good defense. They really learned something in this game, and they managed to keep the game scoreless after 2 periods. During the second intermission, Portman shows up, ready to join the team. He immediately gets ejected.
Got him.
It all comes down to Charlie passing it back to Goldberg, who is now not the goalie, but is just playing a regular.
We built 2 all movie, obviously.
Yes. And at the last second, Goldberg scores. The Ducks win 1-0. They all celebrate, and Charlie sees that Bombay has been in the stands the whole time. The Eden Hall banner Ducks logo comes down as a banner, and then Bombay walks out of the rink with a smile on his face as everyone cheers. And that, my friends, was D3 the Mighty Ducks.
Quack, quack.
We did it. Quack, quack.
Let's take a break. We will come back and we will break down D3 the Mighty Ducks here on Deck the Hallmark. We're back. Hi, everybody. We're talking D3, the Mighty Ducks today on Mighty Mondays. And if for those of you that are worried that we're going to not do Mighty Mondays next week because we're done with Mighty Ducks, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
We're just going to keep
so wrong.
We're going to keep the title. So you're welcome.
It's too
You
good a
got a
title.
winner.
Yeah,
Just give
when,
that up.
when you're good, you're good. It's time to share our thoughts on this movie. We're going to start with the hot take that started all hot takes, which was that D3 is the best Mighty Ducks movie, and that was a hot take given by
Second best.
old Rye Guy. Oh, sorry, the second
we
best.
kept saying the best because it was so crazy that we thought it was second best.
You had D2, D3,
Two,
D1.
You had 2, 3, 1 was your order.
2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
So let's see if anything's changed.
I
Let's see
can't
if
wait
you've
for
learned
this.
your lesson.
I've waited so long for this. I don't believe you went in at all with an open mind, but I'm thrilled to hear what you
Thoughts
thought.
on D3, the
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks?
All right, so the context is important, right? I will say when this came out in 96, I vividly remember seeing it in theaters. I don't know if I went opening weekend, I was 6, but like, I 100% saw it in theaters, and it it was the first franchise that I ever engaged with. By the time D3 comes out, I've seen D1 and 2 over and over as a kid. And when they play that opening montage of all the moments, it's probably like one of the reasons I've become such a fan of storytelling in the way that I am. I was like, wow, like all of these things have built to this. It felt like a really big deal.
That
So, of
context
course-
is super important. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, that makes a lot of sense, right, Guy?
Yeah. And so it's like, I wouldn't like, Jurassic Park doesn't have a sequel yet at this point. It's like, this is the first. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out examples.
I
of,
love
like,
the law. I defended the Lost World for 20 years of my life because I saw it in the theaters after Jurassic Park came out. Saw it with my dad in the theaters. It is a cornerstone memory for me. And I defended that movie until I watched it with my children. And then I went, I was just 8 years old.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I can remember being in the theater watching this. I'd really been through it with the Ducks. So is it hard for me to be objective?
Yeah.
Yes, but I can be a little more objective with this one than maybe D2. I will say that if there's a negative to say about this film, I'll get this out of the way up top. I could see the off-ice hijinks not working for everyone. I particularly really enjoy them, but like if you don't love the ants gimmick and those type of things, the Mission Impossible stuff, like the bathroom cleaning stuff, I that's fine. I think that's a staple of these films, including the first one with the dog poop and all of that. But if that stuff doesn't work for you here, that's fine. For me, the opening chase sequence with Charlie and Goldberg sets, a really good tone for this film, and it does feel more grown up. And I think the only other real flaw with this film, Bran, you mentioned it.
What? Can you say that again? The
What?
chase where Goldberg has got the sheet on him and the hose pipe and the pit bull, that scene is what you're talking about?
I like that scene. Yeah.
It sets a more, what were the words? Adult tone?
No, I said that sets a nice tone, and that the film in general is more
He
adult.
said, he didn't say just a nice tone. You said something else there.
Mature.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. There was two thoughts.
I did a
scene is
full,
really
okay, great, go ahead. Back to you. Sorry, I did a
Take it
full
to the
record
tape.
scratch. Yeah, that's
Take it
fine.
to the
Please
tape.
do.
Take it to the tape. The only other real flaw, in my opinion, with this film, and it might be a big one, it might not be something you can overcome. Bran mentioned it in the recap. The stakes just aren't comparable, right? From the second one. Now, I will, in my What the Hallmark, I will expand on that further. This was not the original idea for this film. We'll get there when we get there. This is very much the story Disney wanted them to tell, so it's the story they told. My hottest take is that Coach Orion is an infinitely better coach than Coach Bombay ever was.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
Yeah. Jeffrey Nordling is a great actor.
He is. He was in So Help Me Todd. He was great in that show.
Big Little Lies, he's incredible on. Hilariously, he plays the husband of Laura Dern. Shout out Jurassic Park.
Shout out.
But I didn't even plan that. But now I will say, Emilio Estevez is in this film for about 15 minutes, also out of their control. He was filming another movie at the time. He makes those 15 minutes count. I think all of his scenes are really, really, really good. Let's give it up one time for Josh Jackson. Dan, I know you don't think he was a good actor in the first one.
He is now.
I think other than one or two scenes, one in particular where he really, really overacts, he's great here.
He's really great in this. Yeah, I agree.
And he does wind up as the heart of the franchise overall. And I think a lot of the reason for that is sure the first film, but also this one when people just think back on the Ducks in general. Yeah, I mean, listen, is it perfect? No, but like, you know, and if you don't like the hijinks stuff, that's fine. But Charlie's arc, the moments of real emotion, which there are many of, this is a pretty serious film, sans those moments of hijinks, and the actual hockey is great. Like the actual that final game is there's still dumb stuff, but there's like really well shot hockey in there. It's hard to be objective, but Brad, I love this film.
So when are we going to give our rankings? After
I'll do it right now. For me, it stays the same. 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
Stays the same. 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
I'll start by saying this. As conflicted as I was after seeing, you know, one for the first time and like then watching 2 and not knowing how I was going to rank them, I am relieved that 3 womps. Like I'm just 3 that it is what it is. It's not very good.
Oh man,
the problem
that hurt his heart. Look
sorry.
at him. That hurt his
I'm
heart.
Sorry, buddy.
That stung. Didn't even let him down easily.
What you said about the things that don't work in this movie, the hijinks stuff, I think it works as well in this as it does in the other ones for me. Like it's fun. My problem is the thing that I remember the most about this movie is the hijinks. And that isn't what I'm looking for in Mighty Ducks. What I'm looking for in Mighty Ducks is
inspiration.
And I got to be honest with you, I watch these movies for Coach Bombay. Coach Bombay.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
Coach Bombay is the best part of every Mighty Ducks movie.
Correct.
Him not being in this movie more than 15 minutes, if they couldn't make it work, they shouldn't have tried. It just isn't the same. It really affects it. No matter how good Orion is as a coach and how good the performance is, it just really, it's like bringing in, trying to replace a character of a show. It's just really hard to do. And to me, it's an uphill battle.
What could they have done with Bombay though? Like at a third,
they shouldn't have made the movie.
They do
just stop at 2. Is your point, Dan? I don't know what else you could do with the Bombay. Character.
If you have Bombay, if Emilio is there.
Does he have a relapse?
I don't care if you run it back.
I'm being serious.
Clearly, I don't care if you run it back. Clearly, I don't. If you run back the same storyline as D2
he'll watch it every time. He'll watch 10 of them.
I would watch that movie.
I'll tell you what they originally had planned.
Okay, this whole thing of Bombay
running the junior Goodwill.
Like having to learn a lesson and come back to his roots, and like they remember together that they are the Ducks. It's going to work. And so I
agree with that. Yeah.
And so that's my thing. It's like, I don't really like just do the same thing again, just older. Yeah. Like that's kind of my thing. And so it's just tough because I agree that Josh Jackson is giving a good performance. I think part of the struggle is the Ducks as a whole, to me, have never been the most important part of the Mighty Ducks. It's always been Bombay and his relationship with the Ducks. And so we get a lot of Ducks. It's just most of this movie is these kids. I
like that. I like that.
Yeah. It just doesn't work for me overall. I still have fun, but I'm like looking ahead at like Rookie of the Year and like Little Giants and some movies that I remember very fondly. I am not going to be surprised if we get to the end of this Mighty Monday and this movie in particular is last, if not towards the bottom.
Yeah. I don't expect this to rank very well for you. And Dan, I imagine you're about to say this.
Dan,
so I saw this movie in 7th grade, and the best thing I can say about this movie is I liked it more now than I did then.
Let's go.
That's the best thing I can say about the movie. Now, before that qualifies as a win, it's still far and away the worst of these 3 movies. And I believe that because you cannot listen. I like the hijinks in this movie. I do. I think they're fun. They pay off the ants bit. They show the ants early. They pay it off later. I like it a lot more than drugging poor Dwayne. You know what I mean? Like, at least these all seem above board and everyone was complicit and gave their consent, I guess, for a prank war. Like, the stakes just aren't there. Like, Josh Jackson's arc is great. Charlie Conway's arc is great in this movie. The hockey that we get filmed is great in this movie. Orion, the coach, is great in this movie. I don't disagree with any of those 3 points, but that is just such a consolation prize for the fact that think about the stakes of the first 2 movies. Like Lane Smith berating children, berating Gordon Bombay with his second place, banner up there, and Bombay learning how to be a human being and care about others. And
quitting his job as a lawyer.
And then you've got the Team USA. And in this movie, it's like, what if we beat the varsity team?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
And I just, so you add, all right, so there's no stakes. This is going to hurt you, but I'm being honest. The stakes feel like Rocky V. The whole movie, it is Tommy Gunn street fight stakes. The stakes are not there in this movie. They're just not. That's the biggest flaw of the movie. The second biggest, and it's like 1A, is Hans has as much screen time as Gordon Bombay. I'll say it again. Hans, and that might not be accurate, but it's very close.
Close.
Hans gets 3 or 4 scenes. Bombay gets about 15 minutes. And to me, I like Charlie Conway. I like a lot of these characters. Gordon Bombay and the speeches he gives, he's one of the best kids movie coaches of all time. Orion is a better actual coach, but Emilio Estevez kind of knows the gig, knows when to be realistic and when not to be, and he's just not around. That really, really, really hurts this movie. So when the stakes are lower and none of this feels very earned, right? Outside of Conway, all of it is like they're staying in dorms at a place in the city and they got to beat the varsity and it's in the middle of the year. And it's like, and on top of that, they make some choices that I think are kind of downright mean to some of these characters, which I'll talk about later, that were unfortunate. And so, yeah, I like when I saw it in 7th grade, I actively was like, this isn't my Ducks. I just had this attitude. Now looking at it, I love Coach Orion and I love the hockey and I love how the arc of just Josh Jackson as an actor, like this guy, you could argue really learned to act in these movies. And he's really like, he goes from a D- to an A- in these movies easily. And then he's got a career of it and he's clearly just great. So I love that. And I love the hockey and I love, weirdly enough, I love that last 20 minutes in that match a lot more than I remember loving it. But as it stands, it's just a watered down, it means so much in the first one. And then in the second one, you've got the patriotism of it. It just doesn't mean a lot in this one. And there's no Bombay to help you care. And they're kind of mean to some of these characters. And it just is a clear third entry. That at the end of the day was my thing.
I agree with you about being mean to the characters. I know exactly where you'll go in the wait what's, and I agree. I obviously have no argument for that. Would you say, though, if the plot was different, and again, they had a much different idea, and it's not a perfect comparison because then probably a lot of it changes, but like the Charlie Bombay scene in the hallway and all of and the Orion speech about playing real defense, that to me, that stuff does work. So if the plot is different, if the stakes are higher, does that, and granted,
that's a great question. My two responses are one,
it's not.
Very few. Yeah. Ifs and buts, candy and nuts, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The first question, or the defense question, very few kids sports movies, if any, are remembered fondly because of defense. It doesn't happen. I love Orion as a coach. Orion being this big defensive juggernaut is great. It just doesn't work in kids movies. It's great for me as someone that likes sports, but kids wanted, chicks did the long ball. That was a literal slogan that Major League Baseball used for 10 years or so. Like people want to see offense. That to me doesn't get fixed.
Yeah. Luca recently rewatched this movie and he's like, "Oh, that stinks."
Yeah. The Gordon Bombay of it all, if it's a better movie and with a different plot, obviously, and this is going to take away, but as it stands now, that scene, he's just like the ghost of Christmas past. It's a very weird scene in this movie where he walks Charlie through the past life of Orion and then himself to give Charlie some context in a way he could have done for himself all the way back in the first movie. So that scene doesn't hit for me the way I think it hit for you. But unfortunately, we get what we get. And it's just a movie that was made to see if they could make some money. That's what it feels like to me, unfortunately.
It feels the most direct to VHS.
Yeah, it does. But what's wild is the hockey scenes are the best from a filming standpoint.
They've really figured out how to shoot these hockey scenes.
Sure.
At this
Yeah,
point.
agree.
I mean, And it's not like, they shot the second one legitimately at the pond, and this one still looks better in a much smaller venue.
Yep.
And it's like, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the plot is the reason why it feels the most direct to VHS.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And so we'll talk more about that though.
And you still have it ahead of one. That's
yeah,
crazy.
no, I do. I mean, again, it's it's narrow margins. Like, I'm graded on the margins.
Man.
You're 1, 2, 3.
I'm 1, 2, 3 in the order that came out. Can't believe it.
For now, final verdict.
I think after a lot of thought, I'm the same.
You're 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
That's
wow.
Fine. Listen, I'm not mad at any ranking of these films.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. 1, 2, 3 is it for me.
Yeah, I'm still glad we did this, and obviously
I am too.
we're not done.
I am too.
Yeah.
Man, what a time. What a time.
Let's get to all the feels.
Already.
We're talking about what this movie gave us those feels. Brian, Rye? Sorry.
Yeah,
Brian?
I mean,
Brian,
we
are you
already
here?
talked-
Brian?
Yeah. Hey, Brian, what'd you think of D3? We already talked about it. I love the Ghost of Christmas past scene.
Of course.
I think it really, really, really gets me every single time. But past that, so that's my real answer. But we've had a lot of fun with Portman losing his letter in the mail. Not actually how it happened, but
No, it isn't.
No, yeah.
It's worse. It's worse. I want to be very clear.
We'll get there. Yeah, but
it makes more sense. What happened? Losing it in the mail would make more sense. Go ahead, back to you.
His arrival is electric, and then Bran, you say ducks fly together once a week. He's stripping in the penalty box is maybe my most quoted film line of all time. Like that, it's for 6-year-old me.
Yeah.
Nothing was funnier.
Yeah.
It's really there's a real problematic element that 17-year-old Dean Portman is stripping, and these
I'm pretty sure he's 14 or 15 because they're freshmen. Freshmen in high school.
Well, I think he was held back. I mean, also I think in real life that dude's probably like 20.
Yeah.
Right?
He was 18 when they filmed it. Yeah.
Yeah. But
he was merely freshman.
Shout out to that announcer. The kid they have announced this game.
He crushed it.
That kid is my feels. When they
Goldberg
when he's first introduced in the movie, where is it Charlie gets checked into the locker by?
I think it's Benny the Jet.
Oh yeah. One of the kids, and he just pipes up with his little he has a little microphone ready to go.
Yeah.
And then everything he said, I think of him when I think of Mighty Ducks announcer, and not the other guy that's done the other two. There's something about this kid and the way that he announces the game that just really works and is great.
You want to talk about a scene that is A, unearned, B, is a wait what for miles and miles. It is an all-time wait what that we'll talk about, but still 100% worked for whatever I have left of a heart here. I literally love the scene anyway, is when Orion slaps that C on Charlie's chest.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Don't ask.
He didn't sew it on. I guess it's Velcro. He's been carrying around in his pocket.
Stays the whole time.
The whole time. So many times. He could have put that on that kid right here. He waits until the moment. He gives him a speech, hammers it on his chest, and you're like, heck yeah, man. I'm ready to run through a wall. When he does that, I'm just like, what? All I could dream about is one time as a coach to be able to manipulate that scene together to do that one time. That's the best. And it makes zero sense. And I still loved it. Favorite scene of the movie.
Their dynamic really works, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And they're the two best actors that are in the movie for any length of time. And they're great.
Josh Jackson took everything he learned from letting Emilio Estevez just chew through every scene he was in with him. And he takes it and uses it in this movie.
Yeah,
he really
does.
Those
are really good.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the wait what and the what
the
duck here on
Deck
the
the Hallmark.
We're back, everybody. It is Mighty Monday. It is D3.
Just
It is
another
time
Mighty
for
Monday.
the wait what. It is where we talk about what in this movie made us go wait what. I'll start with you, Rye.
Yeah, deer head taxidermy in the classroom is wild.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That
cool
is
visual, but wild.
Listen, that is a school that names its mascot a Native American. Right
well,
there.
to that point, Charlie defending of the warrior name doesn't age the best.
What?
It doesn't age the best.
This movie. Did you have more to
Charlie,
say
not
there?
America first, but is pro Redskins.
Yeah, he 2 of those 4 teams he names as justification for naming your mascot after Native Americans are no longer those names. The other 2 hopefully are shortly behind them. This movie does this weird thing where I was pulling for neither, so I desperately wanted the school to change their name. but I also wanted these kids to learn that the childhood Pee Wee hockey team that you were on, it doesn't define you as much as the lessons you learned.
Right.
And so like when Orion's like, you're not the Ducks anymore, grow up, I'm with him there.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally with him. And so I cringed to see Charlie defend the Native American mascot and then get his way to get the Ducks.
Yeah.
It was the worst of both worlds for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, and also let's keep in mind that just 1 year ago, he's like, we don't need Team USA. Let's
That's
just
right.
this guy.
He's trying to make the Ducks everything. He's a fascist,
He's a
really.
madman. Yeah. Walks in with his Washington football team hat. Listen, you know, the winner of the Junior Goodwill Games, whether or not they should have represented our country, it's a little far-fetched that it's so crazy that they've, you know, brought this team in. Is it a publicity stunt? Sure. But like, they also are at this point, like gold medal winning hockey players. And like, I understand that for these films to work, they have to be seen as underdogs, but it's tough. And maybe that's an argument for why D3 maybe just, you know, was a tough sell. Hey, why is Charlie buying Hans ketchup?
What?
Why is Charlie buying
When
Hans?
did he do
When
that?
did he do that?
When he does the gimmick with the cutting the hand,
Yeah.
Charlie goes,
Put away the ketchup.
Hans, cut it out. I bought the ketchup. Like,
Oh,
know,
I
it's
missed
like-
that.
I thought he
line.
said just cut it out with the ketchup. I didn't hear
No,
that I bought.
Yes, I bought the, and then Hans has like a diner red bottle.
Why is Charlie?
buying this
That's
guy
a
with the
great
castle?
one.
Why is he buying
I
this guy
missed that.
ketchup?
That's
Yeah, I
funny.
thought he just said enough with the ketchup or something like that.
I bought the
Uh,
ketchup.
Dan, you're gonna touch on this, so I'll just mention the Goldberg Julie stuff. Beyond the problematic nature of it, Julie the cat is also an A student, and she can't figure out that
Yeah.
these carbs are a bad idea. I'll let you. Take
We don't
that
have to
one
cut.
in a
We don't have to do it any more than that. Like
Yeah.
they literally are like, we know we messed up with Julie the cat. What if we try to make her fat?
minute.
What if we try to feed her stuff that would slow her down on the ice
For funnies.
for a fun bit?
Right.
And she's just too dumb to figure it out. It's pretty mean.
At least they redeem it that like she's a master in this third game, like in the final game here. Like, she, incredible performance, but not ideal. The first game where they end up tying, why couldn't it have been 6 or 7 instead of 9?
Yeah,
Yeah, 9 is
tough.
stupid.
Yeah, it's like, what's the difference there? It would be a little more believable.
That's the most
And-
direct to VHS about this. Is that
Yeah.
when it's 9-0 going into the third, and you're just
Yeah.
like, what in the world?
And then it's not 20-minute periods. And then last one, Coach Orion really could have killed somebody throwing that puck.
He could have
Like,
easily killed someone.
like,
You're right.
I think this guy is a great coach, and I think the lessons are great. But he could have murdered a child throwing that puck.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
That's
Anything else? I do want this on the record really quickly. Someone did take it to the tape. Your exact quote was a really good tone that feels more grown up.
That
Yeah,
scene,
But
the
that
chase
wasn't.
scene.
No. It was 2 separate thoughts.
Oh my gosh.
It was 2 separate thoughts.
Well, how are we to know that? While you're talking about,
I wish the camera would have been on us when you're like, I really love the chase scene to start the movie. It was a really great tone that felt more grown up. And I just looked at Brand like, is he serious right now?
It was a sentence fragment.
Yeah,
You know about
yeah.
this, Dan.
It
You
was
were
a,
an
it was a
educator.
run on.
Yeah.
Charlie, when Coach Ryan comes onto the ice for the first time, Charlie tries to shake his hand with his left hand, and
monster.
he should have taken a C right then and there. That should have been the dead giveaway. He could have taken off either glove, and he opted. And I say that as a left-hander. Some things are sacred.
Yeah, you don't left hand shake.
We have to talk about Mendoza crawling under.
Oh my God.
Also
Crawl-
not great. Yeah.
Crawling under the table at lunch, just clearly
trying to
sneak a peek at these cheerleaders, and then turning to the camera
Break the fourth wall.
and smiling at
and
it.
raising an eyebrow.
Oh, hey.
All of a sudden, that Rodeo Drive scene doesn't seem pretty wholesome.
Yeah.
Where are the blue balls when you need them?
My goodness. Speaking of things that you deserve to lose your C for, Coach should lose his coach for wanting to go on 2. Go team on 2.
You
1,
can't
2,
go
go
on
team.
2.
That was
You
sadistic.
can't do that. He shouldn't be the coach of this team. That's illegal. The announcer kit that I love has 3 mics around him, which seems like a lot.
You do you.
But you go, buddy. Why is the ice so darn foggy in the morning?
Yeah, somebody cut the fog machine
It
loose
is
in there.
crazy.
It's
Cool visual.
insanity.
It is a very cool visual until you remember that they're going to play hockey and they have to see the puck. And then it's like, well, I don't know how we're going to do this. So Charlie is in there, obviously, as Bombay comes in to give his whole, like, I'm a lawyer, here's what you got to do, and is like fighting for the kids to get their scholarships reinstated. And I want to remind you, he hasn't lawyered since
Years.
becoming a Pee Wee coach.
That's right.
Still has it.
And
still got it.
Charlie, who's never seen him do this before,
That's right.
turns to Orion and says, he's just getting started.
Yeah.
How would you? You've
Yeah.
never seen him do it before.
He just knows. Let Gordon
here
cook.
he is. That's lawyer Bombay
That's right.
from days of old. I've heard tell of this. And last but not least, this is an absolutely very, very expensive rebranding of the Ducks from the
Yes,
Warriors.
a huge rebranding.
That is happening because the kids bet. This wasn't like a thing that they didn't get the board involved. This was a bet, like, hey, we're going to change the name of the Ducks if we win. And then they go with it. And when they pan to the crowd, everyone's wearing Warriors gear. The banners, all like, there's so much. This is a very expensive rebranding that is happening and is being forced by a group of kids that they wanted to take their scholarships. So they're paying all the scholarship money that they wanted to get back, while also having to pay for a rebranding because those same kids made a bet. That's tough for the board. I'm not trying to say the board is right or anything like that, but boy, that's expensive. Dano?
The other thing I know about brand changes is that when you change the name of a mascot at a school that's like a storied institution, everyone's immediately on board. No one has any problems.
Yeah.
There's never any pushback.
To the storied history that is whatever the
Eden Hall.
Eden Hall.
How dare
yeah.
you? No one ever. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk Dean Portman, shall we? I was wrong. He didn't get his letter. It didn't get lost in the mail. Here's what happens in the opening credits of this film. There's a press conference with the dean of Eden Hall, and all the Ducks are out there, and he's got this official thing, and he says they all get He says it. They all get scholarships to come to Eden Hall. Everybody goes nuts. You know who's in there? You know who's got a Duck jersey on that's in there? Dean Effin Portman.
He's there?
He's there. Yeah.
I've never noticed that before.
And here's the thing is, it didn't sneak past me either because we're watching and I just stopped. I just paused it and went, look, Dean Portman is there in uniform. He's there.
Good catch.
So then Bombay bails, and then a scene after that, Fulton said Portman found out that Bombay wasn't coaching, so he bailed. So
That tracks.
so
That makes sense.
but now
Yes.
the arc of this is Portman is in, he got his thing, he signed up, we're all going. They made the press conference, that's the signing. Then Bombay leaves, I'm out, deuces, and then at the end of this movie, Dean Effin Portman comes waltzing in and says, my lawyers found, did he say my lawyers?
My attorney,
My
Bombay.
My attorney found this and suggested I sign it.
I don't know what he's signing. I've never quite understood it. It's not a contract.
This makes they didn't know what to do with Dean Portman. And
Where the heck was Dean
They
where was
made it
that
up.
actor?
My theory is that they're not. If you have Dean Portman there, it's like they're just kicking varsity's ass, right?
But the
like,
problem is-
he needs to not be there. for
then
the
Coach
majority of-
Orion, who's a big earn it defense guy, meets Dean Portman and is like, guess what? You're starting. You're in there, big guy. Go do your thing.
And he plays all of
He's
2
seen the, well,
seconds.
he's seen the tape. He's
Yeah.
seen the tape.
Yeah.
He-
And when
he plays all of 2
when
seconds
he
and then
ducks and
strips.
flips that guy over the glass, objectively cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
Objectively cool.
The
Dean Portman rules.
Yeah.
the Bash brothers 100% work every time.
Every time.
Every
That
time.
makes no sense from a hockey standpoint. You can't just lay waste to people, blindside them, but it's great.
Yeah.
There's one of the bullies from the varsity team that's not the main one. He looks just like Biff from Back to the Future. And that's probably because he's as old as Biff from Back to the Future. He and Emilio Estevez are 2 years apart.
Are you serious?
He's not
30 years old, that guy?
That's right. Emilio Estevez was born in 62. He was born in 64. He's 32. He's 32 years old. What are we doing? Also, speaking of which, what are we doing? The JV varsity showdown 100% shouldn't exist. Yeah. Like we're on, like if you want a scrimmage, great. But if your JV team can go toe to toe with your varsity team, you know what you have? A new varsity team. That's what you have. You have ninth graders who are as good as seniors, which means you need to get them on the ice right now, and then they're going to be the best varsity team you've ever seen in 3 years. You do not do that unless you want to prove a point that you're not varsity material. The only reason you have this showdown is to remind the JV what their role is. That's it. And then when they go out and get their tails kicked early in the morning with the fog everywhere, Orion comes in and he says this line: "You lost whatever mental edge you had over the varsity. Now they own you. They're the varsity. They already did." I am sorry, Rye Guy. This is Tommy Gunn in a street fight. Touch me and I'll sue stuff. That's my big problem is the hockey's filmed well, but it shouldn't. What are we doing? And it's not even an exhibition at the beginning of the year. This apparently takes place in the middle of the season.
A couple games into the season, yeah.
What are we doing? I don't understand that. Also, the score in this movie ranges from featuring the Looney Tunes to Chris Nolan's Interstellar. Like it is literally either is that a kazoo to like it is crazy. Like what we are all over the map with this score. Justice for pit bulls. There's a pit bull that gets a scene in this movie, and they make him out to be a real angry SOB, and he's just a hungry boy. You don't do that to pit bulls. Pit bulls are wonderful animals. No one has been put through as much sports social trauma as Adam Banks. He is, the rest of his life, he's going to question if anyone really wants him for who he is. The rest of his life, he's changed teams more than LeBron. He and the teams give him away. They give him away. They come up with reasons he can't play. He's playing injured. He's going to the mat for them.
I will say, Bombay could always say, "I quit my job for you." He could always say, "I quit being a lawyer."
That's true.
Because you mattered so much to me.
That's right.
So there's that.
They make the one Southern guy in this movie a dumb hick. I am Southern. I've been Southern my whole life. I'm proudly Southern. There's a lot of things that I love. I can make fun of Southern people. What you're doing is crazy. This guy doesn't know what TBD stands for. Like as a bit.
Captain Tibbet.
Like it's a great bit, but why you got to make the one Southern guy in this movie act like he don't read or write so good?
They could have given it to Guy Germain, who has like no lines in this film.
The guy whose first name is Guy. Could have given it to him. They pretty much made a dum-dum when they wrote him in the script. And they went with Dwayne, the country bumpkin. He's so dumb. He don't know no better. He's been out on the farm. So that's pretty crazy. The Bombay stuff is so weird to me, and I'm glad it works for you, Rye Guy. And I don't want to yuck your yum, but I'm kind of going to do that here, even though I don't want to. He takes Charlie to an empty ice skating rink to watch Coach Orion skate with his daughter, who is now in a wheelchair because of a car accident that he was driving in. I'm sorry, what? First of all, does Orion do that every morning? And does Bombay know that? Did Bombay ask permission to come in? How did he know that Orion was going to be there and had private ice time with his daughter? Second of all, how does Orion not see them in the bleachers?
I thought about that as well.
Like he's stating, he's having this moment with his daughter, and it's like Bombay and Conway in my mind are 5 rows up, and Bombay's like, "You see what happened there?
Yeah.
That was a car accident.
It's because of him."
Yeah. That's crazy. And then he takes him a walk down memory lane to go, "I don't know if you know this, but I was pulled over for DUI. That's why I had to coach you." Where's that been for 2 movies? Where's that little nugget been? Could have helped maybe shade in Conway's opinion of Bombay a little bit. That was crazy. I didn't understand that at all. That's all I've got.
It's time for What the Duck?
What the Duck?
It's where we wonder what could have happened, maybe happened. That would give clarity to questions we still have. Right?
Do you want me to paraphrase? So there's a great oral history.
I would
of these
love to
films.
hear the version.
Give me that
of it.
oral
Yeah.
history.
You want it? You want it verbatim?
Yes.
Okay, it's long, so at any point just cut me off. But this film is crazy. It was going to be one of those stories where it was a grudge match between Ducks and Iceland, and they make it all the way up to the semifinals back in the Junior Goodwill game.
All in, 4 stars.
And before that game, something goes on in a restaurant where 3 or 4 of the teams are eating, and we were going to use, and please forgive me, Bulgaria. We were going to use the Bulgarian team that would say something off color to Goldberg. It could have been anti-Semitic, possibly making fun of a guy named Goldberg.
It could have been. Don't force our hand, though.
And fun of a guy who's like a little bigger than the average guy on the ice. There's a lot more, so cut me off anytime here. Then a fight would ensue, and in that room was also the Icelandic team who hated the Ducks. And rather than having them sort of look and chuckle, they got involved and they helped Goldberg. There's still a lot more. Then the Ducks lose to Iceland in the semifinals. Now they're going home and they're depressed and they really don't feel good about anything. And Bombay at one point would say, "Is this what we're all about? Is this how it ends?" And then they don't know what he's talking about. And he says, "You are going to get the you-know-what kicked out of you. And there was a team that just beat us that stood up for you. And they're a team that plays more mechanically. They just beat us physically. They play more mechanically, but they're going to play against the team that we don't know is necessarily the fairest team. And wouldn't they be helped out if they got a little bit of duck in them?
They're going to
join
up with Iceland?
Yeah,
No.
and this movie is great. There's still a lot more. Cut me off at any time. They got to know
like
the kind of things that we do. Then, of course, the third act of the movie is the Ducks training the Icelandic team and being the scrimmage team with them. And it's a story of your former enemy now becoming your friend. And a team that seemed mechanical and physical becoming a team that had finesse and surprise. At the same time, for the Ducks, it would be about conquering your anger and conquering the things that you once thought you could never conquer. All of a sudden you do, and you help others who helped you. I just thought to have the Ducks lose would have been a really great way to go out. But in the end, of course, they gained so much, and then the studio said, "Let's do it in high school." A crazy idea. I would have loved to have seen it. My problem, though, is the final 20 minutes of this movie a game between Iceland and Bulgaria, and the Ducks are just in the crowd? That doesn't work narratively.
I just think that movie is too long to pull off in an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like they would have to somehow, I don't know how it would work with the rules, but team up and join us, make a super team.
Well, the other thing is like Iceland, the team that beat you, you're now giving help to is that's a big hurdle logically to clear is we beat you, but now we need your help. That's tough.
I also feel like the final set piece would have had to have been the Ducks versus Iceland scrimmage. It just doesn't make sense to end the third Mighty Ducks movie with Iceland versus Bulgaria.
Well, the Ducks beat them.
I think
the Ducks beat Iceland.
No, in D2, but Iceland beats the Ducks in this version.
They're trying
of
to set
D3.
up basically Rocky, where it's like Apollo and Rocky.
Yes.
Each win once, and then they help each other, kind of thing. Yeah.
And then for clarity, I recommend everyone go read this. It's a really thorough oral history. But Emilio was directing a movie, he couldn't be around for more than a couple weeks. That's why they did what they did with this one. Yep.
Postpone it.
Isn't that a wild pitch?
That is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I literally have never heard that.
So when did they pivot to the idea? Was it when they found out that Bombay can't be in the movie?
I know. I don't know.
No,
but,
it sounds like that was a sketch. It doesn't sound like they got to like production with that.
Yeah,
it sounds like they pitched
that was the story I wanted to tell. We ended up telling the high school story because the studio really felt strongly about that, and it was a different studio kind of at that point than the studio behind 1 and 2.
So it never
we didn't
really
get to
had
tell
a
that
chance.
story.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a script.
Yeah, I wonder, like, at what point did they find out that Bombay can't do it?
Probably knew that when they wanted to greenlight the high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
they
also wonder like how long of a holding deal they had on like Josh Jackson and whatnot. Because like maybe in theory you just wait the 6 months for Emilio to do D3, and then so I don't know. Curious. I still love the movie as is, but with the first time I read that, I was like, because it's such a vivid description, it would have been an insane kids movie, but I would have loved to have seen it.
Emilio Estevez was directing The War at Home.
Yeah.
Starring Emilio Estevez, Martin Sheen, Kathy Bates, Kimberly Williams, Paisley, among others.
All right.
We should
And
review that.
Carla Gugino. It looks like a pretty serious Vietnam War PTSD
Yeah, let's add it to the Mighty Monday.
So let's Mighty Monday that right on
do
up.
that next
Yes.
week. Two things really quickly. Obviously, what the heck happened to Charlie's mom?
She's back, but just barely.
She's back, but barely. Also single again. Like just so many questions, and we never get any explanation for what happened between her and Bombay. And they're also never they never even look at each other in this movie. So clearly some bad blood there. I don't know. Yeah. And also Bombay leaves and before the game is I got some stuff in Chicago I got to figure out.
That's right.
Then he's at the game. Do you think it was I don't want you to know that I'm here? Did he lie about having to go to Chicago?
It's a weird scene.
Or if not, what did he have in Chicago? I don't Bombay's weird in this movie.
I'm gonna get your theory. You ready? If it wasn't for there is one scene where he lawyers, right? And that scene, every time the camera goes away from him, there are more people in that room. That room is bursting at the seams. When it starts, it's like the Ducks and then the board of trustees and then a couple of players from the varsity. Then it's the whole varsity. Then there are Ducks' parents. There are every time you go further in that scene, there's more and more people. That scene disproves my theory, which is if it wasn't for that scene, Bombay could easily be dead and be an angel. He talks to one person at a time. He usually is kind of a lot of it's to Charlie, or he's just sitting back nodding. And it's just
the lighting in the hallway scene is very angelic.
Yeah, he's taking him on this. It would make sense why he knows when Coach Orion has rink time with his daughter. Because it's weird otherwise, gang. It's weird otherwise. My other what the duck is the varsity coach. We get 4 lines of him, and he is giving it his all as an actor. And I just want to know how he became the varsity coach, how legendary he is, and if he's ever not mean. Yep. That's all I got.
Fair. And then one last quick one before we wrap this up. Where the heck was Jesse Hall? Did he make the pros?
Dude.
Where the heck was Jesse Hall?
So mad. Too good. So mad that he wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
So mad. We did it, everybody. Congratulations. Maybe he's working with his dad.
Could be.
Working with his dad.
Getting that overtime.
Getting that overtime pay. We're going to be back next week. Mighty Monday continues with Angels in the outfield.
Yeah,
back to Anaheim.
Yeah,
back to Anaheim.
Yeah, and I don't know. But maybe we'll still wear these jerseys.
Who knows?
Maybe we can find some Angels jersey. Join us for that next time. Until then, maybe this person wish you a Merry Christmas.
The Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family,